FD squad, and welcome back to the Euro Roundup, where you pick our winners and losers from the weekend just past. Joining me is not Patrick van Straten. We forgot he's in the Netherlands.
Indeed he is.
Easily done, tending to his windmill. However, joining me is a man from the Netherlands.
Hey,
Peter
see what
Pan.
I did there?
Never grew up, immature piece
That's
of
actually quite good though, I'll give you that.
Anyway, our first winners come from @HungerCS, and he suggested Juventus. Why? As the old lady kicking us off.
Well, Juventus are now just 3 points away from topping the Serie A after ending Napoli's 14-game unbeaten streak in the league with a 1-0 victory away from home. Juve only had 32% possession, taking 7 shots to Napoli's 21 and putting 4 on target to Napoli's 6. But despite this, the expected goals put Juve in front with 1 versus 0.76.
So in terms of quality of chance, Juve actually pretty level despite an inferior shot count.
Yes. Now, Juventus scored early through Gonzalo Higuain. That's his 5th goal against his former club in all competitions, and afterward sat back, invited pressure on, with the majority of touches and passes coming from their own half. And talking about Juve's defence, their whole team put a shift in. The whole back four put in a shift with a combined 31 clearances. Napoli's whole squad made 4. That was ridiculous. Well, this was actually Juventus' first clean sheet against Napoli at the San Paolo in Serie A since March 1997. I wasn't even born.
A vintage year then, in that case. Well, coming into the game, Napoli had only lost 3 of their last 45 Serie A games. They've been in explosive form, haven't they? 2 of those, however, have been against Juventus, so they do have maybe a little bit of an inferiority complex when it comes to the Turin side. Now, Napoli were just not clinical on the day. Insigne, Mertens and Callahan managed 12 shots with only 5 coming on target, and all of those actually came from Insigne. Conversely, Juve, very decisive as always, have now scored in 44 consecutive Serie A games, setting a new league record. Plaudits to them. However, they don't take top spot. Inter Milan take top spot after winning 5-0. They now sit at the summit of Serie A. Napoli second and Juve third. Juve actually play Inter Milan this Saturday.
What
That's
a tie.
Mouth-watering tie. Get your predictions in the comments below. But Juve, you're our first winners. Moving on.
Our first loser comes from @JinxGamer101, and it is Real Madrid. Chris, why are they our first loser?
That is because, my friend, they drew 0-0 with Athletic Bilbao and missed their chance to capitalise on Barcelona's drop points earlier in the day. Obviously, they drew with Celta Vigo. We discussed that over on Winners and Losers. Go and check that out after you've watched this. Now, actually, we're expecting goals in this tie because it's the first time it's ended in a draw between these two sides for 19 years.
Flipping hell.
And the San Meme isn't fertile ground for Ronaldo. He hadn't scored there in his 4 previous games, and that trend continued after the 90 minutes. The best he could manage was hitting the post in the 70th minute. He's only actually contributed to 4 goals now in this La Liga season. That's 2 goals and 2 assists. That's in 10 league games. He was obviously banned for the first, was it 4 or 5, after that push on the ref. But it is a real cause for concern. And the lack of chemistry with Benzema is particularly startling after they dovetailed very nicely at the tail end of last season. By half-time, they hadn't even passed to one another once.
Mate.
Ugly scenes. The Frenchman is also having a torrid time of late. He's got the same record as CR7. One of them needs to start firing soon, or their place, well, Benzema's place, not Ronaldo's, might be up for grabs in January, Zach.
Yes. Well, statistically, Madrid came out on top. They had 65% possession, 19 shots, but only managed 4 on target. That was the same as Bilbao managed the whole game. And to make matters worse, their captain, Mr. Madrid, Sergio Ramos, got sent off in the 86th minute. Ramos has now been sent off more times than any other player in La Liga history. And here's an interesting point. Ramos has only ever seen red at Madrid. Whilst playing for Sevilla and Spain, a number of 199 games, he's never seen the card. He now misses their next game against Sevilla, who are coming off from 3 wins in their last 3. I also saw a thing on Twitter about him taking his mask off for a header and everyone going, oh, captain, legend, leader. Wow, got sent off. Big whoop. And things are not looking good for Zizou, as Real Madrid have earned the fewest points in La Liga after 14 match days with 28 since the 2008-2009 season with 26, when they ended up as runners-up in La Liga to Barcelona. But who do you think is going to win La Liga? Real Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia? Let us know in the poll above Chris's head.
We stay in Madrid for our next winners, and it's Los Colchoneros, the mattress men. Zach, this one comes from Simon finally, and they're finally putting together a string of victories, aren't they?
Yes, they are, as they got a victory after beating Real Sociedad 2-1 to make them the only team in the top 4 of La Liga to win over the weekend. These 3 points pushed them 2 above their Madrid rivals Real and within 6 points of Barcelona at the summit. Now, despite giving away a penalty in the first half, Atleti went on to win the match with a last-minute goal from Griezmann, who is well and truly in good form. I hope he isn't against Chelsea on Tuesday, having now scored 4 goals in his last 3 games, and respectfully didn't celebrate his goal, seeing as that was his former team. Now, Simeone's team were only slightly ahead on possession with 54%, however, used the ball more clinically, putting 10 of their 16 shots on target. Felipe Luiso, the ex-Chelsea man, put in a very strong performance. Not only did he score the equaliser, but he also completed 11 of Atleti's 32 tackles and made 3 interceptions. That is a good game for the left back. But Chris, tell me more about Sociedad.
Well, mate, Sociedad did not go into this game on the back of good form, having won only 1 of their previous 6 ties. However, striker William Jose is in fine fettle and scored his 7th league goal. He's actually scored in 4 consecutive games now, and he also came up with 3 key passes on the night, so he's somewhat of a creative hub for Sociedad up front. Now, they did start well, but after the goal, I think they only registered 1 more effort on target from a total of 10. So a lack of decisiveness from them on that front. Both sides only registering around 6 or 7 dribbles as well. This was a game that was lacking in creativity. That's how many dribbles that Neymar completes by himself.
That's stupid.
On any average 90. But their keeper did have a lot more work to do. Geronimo Rulli soaked up the pressure well, making 8 saves, the most for a keeper versus Atletico Madrid this season. So the scoreline could have been a lot higher. Simeone might feel a little bit aggrieved at that. But Atleti, as you said, demonstrating very good form now, continue a 14-game unbeaten streak in La Liga, equaling their longest ever streak, actually.
That's so good.
So they go into that Chelsea game on the back of a lot of confidence. Let's hope they can take 3 points off them. Come on, Atleti.
We head to Paris for our next loser, and it's PSG at the recommendation of @KViz511. Chris, why are PSG in our losers?
Somehow, they've lost to Strasbourg 2-1 away from home. Now, in this game, only Cavani really was rested, and they can usually cope without him. In the last 2 seasons, he's dropped to the bench 18 times. And I think they've won 15 of them and drawn 3. And looking at the stats, you'd have thought this would have gone the same way. 73% possession, 29 shots, and 5 times as many completed passes as their opponents. But from their 29 shots, only a paltry 4 were on target. So they did miss his clinical finishing inside the box. They had 21 attempts inside the area. So these are high quality chances. This was like the Alamo. But Mbappe only found the net once from 6 attempts, and he was PSG's biggest threat on the night. And this was quite possibly Nuno da Costa's luckiest game ever in Strasbourg colours. Scored with his only shot, and he got an assist from his only key pass. So what a 90 minutes he's had. Zach, what else happened? The Brazilian also struggling.
Yes, the most expensive player in the world, Neymar, seemed off colour without his frenemy on the pitch. He was averaging before this 4 chances created a game, 3.5 shots and 7 take-ons. However, in this match, he managed 3 shots, 0 on target, 2 chances created and 5 dribbles. PSG are still 9 points clear of the pack and go to Bavaria on Tuesday or Wednesday in the Champions League to take on Bayern Munich. Although possibly that game is even more meaningless than Ligue 1 matches, as Bayern need to win by a 10-goal margin to topple them in the group. However, after their collapse against Barca last year, who knows?
Do you think that Cavani is the most underrated striker at a top club in Europe's top 5 leagues? Because he's not spoken about in the same vein as a Lewandowski, is he? As an Aubameyang, as a Ronaldo. Now he's a more traditional number 9, a Harry Kane. And he's got, what, 20 plus 20 goals in all competitions this season? What do you think?
I think he's always been overshadowed by bigger players. There was Ibrahimovic, then there's Neymar now. So apart from last year when he was sort of the main guy, he's never really had the focus all on him per se, whereas Aubameyang and Lewandowski are sort of the main people for those teams. But I do think this season he's now starting to get that light, especially with this sort of match. You see what they're missing him for. But what do you guys think? Is Cavani underrated? Will PSG beat Bayern Munich at home?
Let us know in the comments below. Our last winner by popular demand is Alberto Brignoli and Benevento. More specifically though, this comes from Mac at it again. Because there were absolute scenes in this game.
Yes, well, they got their first ever Serie A point by holding Gattuso's AC Milan, his first match as the club's boss, to a 1-1 draw. And they did so in dramatic fashion. Their keeper, Brignoli, scored a diving header to become the first keeper to score in the league since Massimo Taibbi in 2001. Now, afterwards, in a press conference, he said, "I closed my eyes and dived like a goalkeeper, not a striker." Those are the dives we want to be seeing. Now, this was Brignoli's 9th Serie A appearance and just his 8th for his current club. This is also his 5th loan spell from his parent club, Juventus. Chris, tell me a bit more about the game in general, though.
So he's somewhat of a journeyman.
Indeed.
Fair play to him. Well, it was actually a pretty even game overall. Zacharias, Benevento had 47% possession, so edged out in terms of play. However, they did create more chances. They had 17 shots to Milan's 12, 6 on target to Milan's 7. Now, Bonaventura was the main man for Milan, as he's often been in this period of decline. 1 goal, 1 assist, 6 shots and 2 completed dribbles. Along with 4 tackles and interceptions. So an all-action performance from the wide man. But he still couldn't help his side, as you said. They succumbed to a draw, didn't they? They now sit 8th, 13 points off of Roma in 4th, which is obviously the last Champions League berth in Serie A. Now they get 4 automatic places. And they've played 1 game less, you say, with the Francesco's men. So it's not looking good at this point already. It might be a case of aiming for Europa League football yet again, even after that big summer spend. Benevento, though, 9 points off safety, but no one cares because
the keeper.
It's a party at Benevento this weekend. I hope it's continued into today because what a header that was. They've got a minus 28 goal difference. It looks like a foregone conclusion at this point, but if they can give us a few more moments like that this season, then quality. Will they get relegated? Yes. Don't even comment below. Don't even comment.
We head to Germany for our final loser, and this one is RB Leipzig at the recommendation of @Swagato99. Chris, tell us why Leipzig are in our losers.
First, Swagato. Mate, 50 tweets a week. Love the hustle, but we want quality over quantity. I want 5 sterling efforts next week. Attaboy. Because you suggested Stoke this week, and that's a new low, mate.
Not great at all.
The day Stoke make our winners and losers is the day I walk out of this office. It's the day Zach takes over.
Yes! Come on, Shaqiri. Anyway, Leipzig. Get to Leipzig.
They beat Hoffenheim 4-0 despite having 65% possession. And a lot of it, I had a cheeky look at the heat maps, was actually really good possession in Hoffenheim's half. They had them penned in. In fact, Naby Keita completed 8 dribbles. Hoffenheim, as a unit, only completed 3. I think RB Leipzig completed 20 as a whole. Again, this was like the Alamo. They had them penned back. In fact, Leipzig had 7 corners. Hoffenheim had 0. They also had more shots as well, 11 to 10, but less than half were on target in RB Leipzig's department compared to the uber-clinical Hoffenheim. How did this happen? How did they win 4-0 despite the stats suggesting that this was RB Leipzig's to lose?
Well, look, the home side were very effective on counter-attacking as Leipzig pressed up high on the pitch. They were also a lot better at finishing with 8 of their 10 shots on target. And ex-Arsenal man Serge Gnabry scored his first goal in a Hoffenheim shirt, eventually bagging a brace, one of which was a goal from the halfway line.
Not seen it yet.
It's an absolute ping, a Martin Luther ping, as some would say. Now, he did come off after 60 minutes and only had 27 touches, but he made them count. 2 shots on target, 1 key pass, and 2 goals, as we said. Another goal came from Ut, who had 3 shots with 2 on target and 2 key passes, and their third goal scorer, Amiri, who also contributed to an assist. So overall, Hoffenheim dominated on the counter. Leipzig just couldn't finish. But guys, where do you think Leipzig will finish in the Champions League and in the league? Let us know in the comments below.
So guys, that was this week's ERU. Thank you for watching and thank you for getting your tweets in. Even you, Sagatos Swaka, forgot his handle. Zach, What else is going on in the Football Daily universe?
Well, FDFC, Michael McCubbin, James Wayne, together, Team Twat, released their non-league vlog on the weekend. It was actually a very good edit and very good footage. Make sure you check it out. You won't regret it. And as always, don't forget...
Yeah, see ya.
To like and subscribe.
Bye.
Why do you do this?